Hey everyone, TikTok here. So there's a practice that is incredibly popular among people of faith that I used to engage in but no longer do. It's something that makes family get-togethers and holidays somewhat awkward at times. That practice is the saying of a prayer of thanks before a meal, saying grace if you will. If you're a religious person who has ever eaten with a very religious group of loved ones, you may have experienced the weirdness of being the only head raised while everyone else is bowed in thankful reverence. You may also have experienced a bit of discomfort when everyone realizes that you were not praying with them. But I found that I have perfectly valid reasons for feeling like I do, and I believe that everyone else does as well. And it seems that some of the logical implications of these prayers that have solidified my resistance to them are ones that people really don't think about. Implications that, if they are true, would make the God that they are directed at not only mysterious and cryptic, but deserving of all the revulsion we can muster. What I eventually realized that what I was giving thanks to was a being, a supreme being, when it had been human beings who had actually planted my food, watered it, harvested it, transported it, shelved it, cooked it, and then served it to me. God played no part whatsoever in getting the food from the field to my plate, and yet I was taught to give thanks for his provisions. I know some believers will say our God or gods sent the rain and sunshine that help grow these plants, but these are natural phenomena explained by natural, relatively predictable scientific processes, not supernatural beings. I realized that I should no more thank Yahweh for the harvest of my food than I should thank Demeter for any other agricultural deity that has been worshipped in human history. And then there was the bigger issue of the logical evaluation of this concept that made me realize that this God, if he existed, would be worthy of our criticism, not our praise. For you see, if Yahweh had the supernatural ability to be Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides, and was going out of his way to make sure that there was bountiful food on my family's plates during the holidays, then logically, the inverse implication of that would have to mean that he was intentionally not providing food for the hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children who were dying of famine and malnourishment in poverty-stricken lands. All it would take would be a simple gesture, and immediately the problem of world hunger would be solved. Anyone who has investigated the issue of world hunger can tell you that the problem is not lack of food, but the fact that the combination of exploitation, corruption, and inadequate infrastructure to deliver resources is often at the root of why food aid does not get to the needy. But this should not be a problem for a being who is said to be omnipotent and omniscient and omnipresent. The God I was worshiping was said to be all of these things. I mean, the aid workers who were delivering food in the name of this God were, of course, limited by their human capacity. But to this God, the merest words could become reality, allegedly. All that would be needed would be the simplest command, and the problem of world hunger would cease to exist. And if he was intentionally starving these people in poor, famine-stricken countries while making sure that we in the industrialized world were eating well and having everything we needed to our heart's content, and even having problems with obesity, then I realized that this is not a God worthy of praise, but one worthy of contempt. And when I realized this, I began to see why I would never say grace over my food ever again.